Miranda Hyde. I'm here on behalf of John Paul Mitchell Systems and Beauty Supply Group today to deliver you guys my 2016 preview you for the brand new Paul Mitchell brand neon category stylist. So I'm super excited today to be talking to you about neon because after going to the 2016 gathering, I really got to experience neon at its best. So with experience in neon, I was able to figure out exactly what demographic these clients are made for and how it works. So 50% of our teens this day and age are concerned about cyberbullying to in-school bullying. So with creating the neon brand, we're able to create a brand that's designed to specifically work with these guests. It's so simple, it's ridiculous. So we have one shampoo, one conditioner, and 4 amazing styling products to be able to give our teenage guests, our early 20s guests, the opportunity to express their own unique style. And today with bullying and everything, a lot of the kids are always feeling like that they need to conform to society. So we're launching this category in the Paul Mitchell brand to be able to give them their identity back, to give them a large voice. And with that, all the proceeds, or part of our proceeds of this, is going to actually be going back into multiple organizations that are going to help bullying, give school ambassadors, and also going to programs that are specifically designed to be able to help prevent teen suicide. In my clientele, in my community, I do large groups of families. And with those families, we have kids. And with those kids, our parents are so concerned about making sure that our children are being safe, taken care of, and just making sure that they understand how beautiful and how wonderful they are and all the gifts and tools that they have. We're going to be creating a great person to be able to help to lead our country in the future. So I'm so excited that Paul Mitchell's teamed up with these amazing organizations to be able to help our future youth that are going to be running our country soon and helping them give a voice and tell them it's okay to be who they are, what they're about, irregardless of acne or weight or whatever. We got to learn to love these people. This actual age group that we're talking about is closer with their parents than they've ever been. Our millennials, our Generation X, are looking for the acceptance of our older peers. So to be able to have this brand that's supporting these amazing organizations for people like me to go in there and teach our salons on how to focus on our children, to groom them to be proper youth, is just beyond, to me, the most exciting thing ever. So we're going to be doing the Elvi haircut today, and I'm just so proud to be part of a corporation that thinks globally, not just locally, thinking about what we can do to be able to prevent teen bullying, teen suicides, and just giving back. And that's exactly what this company stands for, and how proud I am to be part of it is just giving our youth back what they need to be able to be productive, amazing citizens for our future. So I totally hope that you enjoy my tutorial today on our haircut, and just know how much this brand, or this category within the Paul Mitchell brand, means to me and my community. So thank you, John Paul Mitchell Systems, for creating something epic like always. And I hope you guys enjoy my 2016 preview you of the Paul Mitchell brand neon category. Okay, hi. So to prep our doll head today for our haircut that we're gonna be doing, we use products based out of the Paul Mitchell brand neon category. We used our Sugar Cleanse shampoo. This sugar-infused deep cleansing shampoo is weightless, has a wonderful fragrance, and is a wonderful prep for our guests' hair for any style. It has a luxurious smell to it that's a little fun and a little bit of flirty, and it's meant to be non-greasy and to be able to help maintain our guest style all day long. So after using this sugar cleanse, we used the sugar rinse conditioner. This ultra lightweight conditioner helps easily detangle even the most unruly hair. It's meant to be like a perfect prep for any style. It's gonna add tons of shine, great bounce, not weigh the hair down all day. It's also infused with sugar too to give it that wonderful scent that the shampoo has to offer, and give our guests a little bit of fun with our conditioning treatment. Style our haircut today is gonna be our sugar cream. This cream is fantastic for braids, knots, and twists. It helps keep every hair intact and making sure we keep a sleek, more refined look. So it's just one of the amazing 4 products that are put in the Paul Mitchell brand neon category. So I'm going to be using it today as a prep for the haircut that we're going to be doing, and adding a little bit more right before the blow drying and styling. It's a wonderful tool for a lot of our guests that want to be a little bit more playful with their hair and do a little bit more creative designs. So thank you. Can't wait to see the tutorial for the haircut. Okay, so to start off the haircut, I already went through and pre-sectioned. Sectioning is super important to make sure that you keep it precise and clean and very accurate. So our first section is a horseshoe section, following along the parietal ridge, going back to the farthest point on the back of the head, and cruising back on over. So today I chose for my guests face shape and hair type is like recession parietal ridge all the way around. Our next ones are going to be 2 front mastoid division lines going behind the ear, going to the front recession. And she's already starting with a little bit shorter of a nape. So what I did is to have best control of my hair, is sectioning off these two above the occipital bone and leaving that part out. So the first part of the haircut, what we're gonna start is on the left-hand side of the haircut. So you're gonna drop your line, and we're gonna take diagonal back sectioning. So we're gonna be draping that towards the face. Clip this back, get good lines. The tool that I'm gonna choose to use today is my Donald Scott carving comb. These are amazing. They have a comb built into them, and you have two different kinds of razoring. So you have traditional razoring or bulk removal razoring. So typically I use this top side to cut and this bottom side to be able to give texture and just thin out a little bit of the hair. So based off of the haircut today, we have this nice long existing A-line bob in the front that we're gonna cut forward. So with doing haircuts, you have to think about proper alignment. So I'm gonna stand directly in front of the guest's face. I'm gonna lean this forward, and I'm gonna use my hands to hold as a guideline. And on this side, I'm gonna cut from inside of fingers, knuckles, back down. So what you're gonna do is take sections small enough that you're able to grasp and maintain. So I'm gonna move this forward. I want her fringe starting to live about at cheekbone. So 2 fingers holding, Donald Scott carving comb, and I'm going to graze through her hair. Moving, pulling that next section forward, going through, and cutting that to desired length. Double checking, making sure I didn't drop any hair. Going down to that bottom line. So we'll give you a good visual of now she's got her front fringe. So next section, about 1/4 inch, taking that forward, standing directly in front of the guest so that you can see what you're doing, having proper body alignment, pulling that forward, finding your existing guideline and going back through and removing that bulk. Dropping into the last section, combing that forward, finding the guideline, and going back through. Now we're going to start on the right hand side. So similar technique, diagonal back sectioning, heading forward, clipping up, moving this forward, and since we're starting on the opposite side, we're going to find where our original guideline is, about cheek. Instead of cutting knuckle to finger, you're going to do finger to knuckle. So with this way, we're able to grab a little bit more hair while we're doing it, but we also have to make sure to maintain that optimum length on the other side. And we'll keep working through this back section. So now that we've got the front 2 fringes cut, we're gonna move back to this back section that lives underneath the occipital bone. So what we're gonna be doing is we're gonna be creating flat, square layers. So body positioning is always so important. You need to stand directly in front of your guest or directly behind. Everything that you pull is gonna be at a 90-degree angle straight towards your heart, so directly right on out. And we're going to be using a moving guide. So we're going to be taking the guide from one section to the next, to the next, to the next, to create a even, square, 90-degree flat layer. So we're going to start in the very center of the head, combing hair over, combing over that one section, grabbing our, 1/4 to 1/2 inch sectioning. We're going to pull directly out, use our Donald Scott carving comb, and we are going to carve all the way down. Now for this haircut, since we are starting on a pre-existing haircut, you can take it as short as long as you want. This is just a really good guideline and a really good fun disconnected technique that we can use to create on any of our guests. So I'm gonna work over to my left-hand side, grabbing my new section, picking up a little bit of my last section, finding my guideline, and carving all the way through. And then what we'll do is we'll continue to work from the center of the head over to the left-hand side, finding our original guide, using the same elevation, the same tension, going all the way through, and then we'll pop on over to the next section. Now that we've done from center to left, we're going to do center to right. So the technique changes. So if you notice in the front, we cut from knuckles down the fingertips and fingertips down knuckles. We're going to kind of do the same exact thing. So we're going to take our smaller sectioning, grabbing the hair, pulling it directly on out, standing behind it, and we're going to cut upward. And what that's going to do is that's going to give us some even tension to go all the way up the guest head shape. Lifting out, finding that guide, and cruising all the way through. Okay, so now that we've gotten that bottom segment done, what we did is we dropped our next segment down. So with this is where we're going to create our disconnection. So instead of using the Donald Scott comb, I went to my Paul Mitchell 5.0 shears. These are a great ergonomical design made out of premium Japanese cobalt steel, and they just cut effortlessly through the hair. So what we're going to do is with our next sectioning is in this center back, we're going to take a small 1/4 inch sectioning, and we're going to pull this out directly 90 degrees from the head. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be establishing a different weight line. So depending on your creativity or how you look at it is depending on how much you want to take off. So I'm going to pull directly out of the head shape, and I'm going to cut from inside up. So I'm going to take my area, move my body positioning over once I've created my 90 degrees, and I'm going to start elevating it following the base of the head shape. That one section done. So then what we'll do is we'll move from center to left and center to right, evenly and consistently pulling out the hair, moving through, finding our 90-degree angle, taking that bottom piece off, moving halfway through, and start elevating it to follow the curvature of the head shape. That's going to give us a square but yet rounded soft layer throughout the head shape. Now that we're done taking vertical sectioning in the back, pulling directly out 90 degrees, maintaining even weight distribution, and rounding up the head, we're going to move into this last quadrant. So this last quadrant, we are going to take a horizontal parting about at the apex of the head. So when it starts to round, we're going to save this front sectioning out for her fringe area. So comb that through, leaving that sectioning on out, combing this back. So we're going to be taking 1/2 inch horizontal partings. So we're going to stand directly behind the guest at this point in time. We're going to pull directly straight on up, and we're going to pull back just a little bit. And what that's going to do is that's going to give us a little bit more retention of weight towards the hairline, a little bit shorter towards the back. So we're going to lift up at an angle, creating on the left-hand side a little bit shorter, right-hand side a little bit more length. And that's going to help support our fringe. So we're going to go back through and just cut that on out. So for this sectioning, we'll just continue to take 1/2 inch horizontal sectioning all the way back, using our first one as a guideline. Finding that guide, cutting to meet it. Now I've gotten that front hairline placed and set in stone for our guideline. What we're going to do is we're going to find our previous guideline back here, and we're going to be lifting up sectionings and trying to find guideline and cut from short to long. So body positioning is good. So when I was standing here on the left-hand side, I stand to the left-hand side, pull directly on up, using a moving guide, and cutting from short to long. Body positioning is super important because if you're like standing at a random angle and you're not getting good alignment behind the guest or in front of the guest, you're not going to always creating a concave shape when you want a linear line. So just always making sure that you're pulling everything in front of you and you're standing directly in front of that guest, maintaining even elevation, distribution, and making sure that you're over directing in the right angle. So say if you're layering directly straight up, if you're doing graduation 90 degrees or down, it's really important to know your levels of elevation and where your standpoints are to make sure that when you're cutting an even and consistent, wonderful haircut on your guests. Now that I've gotten all of her layers blended in, we're going to move on to the fringe. So we chose to use a pretty deep triangle for her fringe. So we're going to pull that forward. So with talking with your fringe with your guests, you need to figure out, since we're going to be doing a diagonal over to the right fringe, where they would like it to start on at, doing a good guideline and sweeping it all the way through. So I'm going back to using my Donald Scott carving comb. And my guest chose that she wants it pretty fun and pretty flirty, so we're going to go a little bit shorter. So I'm going to go through on this one side, and I'm just going to cut out everything and kind of moving my hand away from the guest's face, creating more kind of like a diagonal line heading over towards that right hand side with some shorter fun fringe on her left hand side. So there you go. So what we're going to do is we're going to move over to the styling aspect of it. We're going to put a little bit more sugar cream on there just to give her a little bit sleek, smooth, and well-refined style today. We're going to go through with our Nero grip to blow dry her and probably use a little bit of Nero style to get her in set in stone for this afternoon. So thank you so much on the tutorial. We'll head over into the styling bar. So we put a little bit more sugar cream in our guest's hair, and the artist that created this used a Nero dry. I'm going to be using the Nero grip today. He deliberately removed the nozzle. Nozzle, what that does is that concentrates airflow in a specific area so that we can actually get a little bit more smoother, less ruffled texture. So Lucas was using the nozzle off to give it more of a diffused, kind of expanded shape on the guest's hair. And we always try to honor our artists who create these amazing things. So my Nero grip today has a wonderful 1875 watt DC motor with 3 heat settings and 3 speed settings that are interchangeable. It doesn't have a handle, it's ultra lightweight, but it's still super forceful. It's got our express ion that's infused into all of it that helps heat the hair up from the inside, pushing the water molecule out and reabsorbing it back in the hair shaft, which is going to decrease our drying time quite substantially, but add a lot of shine. All of our Nero tools come with a wonderful 2-year warranty that our other ones don't offer, and has Smart Sense microchips put into them. So it just helps us be able to style smarter, not harder, and give our guests a little bit more of an added boost in the styling aspect of it to shorten up time to get them out on their day. So just kind of going through and just shoveling, playing with it, and just moving the hair with your fingers. Okay, so now that our haircut is complete, I think that she looks quite outstanding. This is such a fun, flirty, amazing haircut that Lucas has designed for us. And the coolest thing is it's used with some amazing new products that this company just launched, with the mindset of teenagers and trying to be able to help them establish a fun, flirty new them. And for it's okay to be who they are and what they're about, because we love them and we appreciate them for where that they are. And haircuts like this, I think, are super expressive and allows our teenage guests to feel a lot more empowered and insured walking out of the salon, and especially with some new styling products that can help them on their way. So I would just like to thank every single one of you guys so much for this amazing opportunity to offer you my 2016 preview you for the Paul Mitchell brand neon category. And just try to really press on how important this is to the company, on that we are putting out there the opportunity to be able to inspire young teenagers and youth in this day and age, to be able to stop bullying, stop teen suicide, and just as a salon owner and for us going out there, just trying to spread that word and that love and that knowledge to let kids know to be themselves is just fantastic. So thank you for allowing me to be one of the advocates that do that. My name is Miranda Hyde. I'm here on behalf of John Paul Mitchell Systems and Beauty Supply Group to say thank you so much for this amazing opportunity. Peace, love, and happiness.